Hello there, gamers. Yours truly back in the gaming chair with a gaming rant for Square Enix most cherished, valuable, and adorable cash cow, I meant to say baby, Final Fantasy VII, with its abomination of an episodic for consoles instead of disc, Final Fantasy VII in its Re series. First back in 2020 with Remake, which Squeenix dragged their foot in, and then with the expansion that's not available or playable for the PlayStation 4, but it should and could in 2022 integrate in either 2024 or 2025 Rebirth. This saddens but angers me in the same manner, shape, and form because let's go back to 2005 with its tech demo of Final Fantasy VII for the Sony Showcase, showing how Final Fantasy VII will look if it was on PlayStation 3. So everybody who was either a child, a teen, even adult, 19 years later were oozing at the mouth, claiming for a PlayStation 3 version of its beloved, let's be real, overrated classic from the PlayStation 1 back in 1997. Since 2006 and before 2015, gamers across the board and levels were chanting in unison, make it happen, make it happen, make Final Fantasy VII PlayStation 3 happen. And then, where's Final Fantasy VII PlayStation 3? Complete radio silence from Square Enix, who barely made any Final Fantasy games during the PlayStation 3 gen. But you did have that abomination, utter disrespect, slap in the face, kicking the balls of that piece of rotten mucus filth called Final Fantasy 13 and his BS of sequels. Then the once was called the Fabulous Crystallis Saga, which was that, and that PSP Type O, and the little engine that Squeenix effed up on Final Fantasy Versus 13, which became another little engine that Squeenix effed up on Final Fantasy 15. Still to this day, I call BS and Squeenix were playing it safe. Ain't no way, shape, or how that Versus 13 was going to be originally going to be Final Fantasy 15. Bull and hogwash. Now, Squeenix got sloppy, incompetent, and foolish and went to damage control mode due to their critical failure of the 13 saga. Let's face it and take off the nostalgia goggles. Only reason gamers like 13 was for the Wapu slap material lightning. Take her away, and that game would have been another Final Fantasy 2 on the NES, the original Final Fantasy 2. Gamers only ooh and ah at her, not to mention the stripping and bare bones of the gameplay of what mechanics 13 had. Pretty much it was Final Fantasy arcade with nothing memorable about it. Very dried up, pathetic, embarrassing, and straight up blows. The only Final Fantasy game I've destroyed with great vengeance and furious anger. Seriously, the only redeeming Final Fantasy game on the PlayStation 3 was Final Fantasy 14 Enroll Me Born, an MMORPG. With that, now with Final Fantasy 15 for the PlayStation 4 because, oops, we effed up Biggie time and squandered all the PlayStation 3 gen time and power, so we're going to jump ship from our own boat and hope that gamers forget about the Fabulous Crystallis Saga. Now, I own, but I haven't played Final Fantasy 15, the Royal Edition, because due to the, I'm capped out on my PlayStation 4, but I will get to it one day. But once again, it's a little engine that Squeenix effed up on, but it's leagues and decades better than that Marlboro baddest of breath called Final Fantasy 13, the sequels. Now, I did play the teaser and the demos to 15, and I like it. I really like it. 15 would have been something greater if Squeenix had their heads on their shoulders and that up in their own keisters. Now to 2015, back to 2015, E3 trailer of another showcase and tech demo of Final Fantasy VII. Gamers once again drooling and awing, only to find out it was a gotcha for a remastered port for the PC for the PlayStation 4. Gamers boo, but still purchased it. Fast forward to 2019, the Game Awards. They returned, and this time, same thing, but this one was different, much different. This one shown much more than the buffoonery at 2015. This actually had some meat to it. Trailer showed Midgard with PS4 graphics and engine, with Cloud, bears with sunglasses at night, showing its bits and tricks, and at the end of the trailer, it reads and reveals remake coming soon. Gamers who were booing before jumped for joy as if they won the lottery. Tears of joy, excitement showered in unison on a worldwide scale, for all walks of life, race, creed, nationality, origin, gender, and profession. There wasn't a dried eye at the end of that trailer. True harmony and fellowship were present that evening. Now to 2020, April 10th, with the release of Final Fantasy VII Remake, finally on game shelves, physically, in the real, in our hands. Gamers were like, shut up and take my gills, all of them. Then Squeenix, being themselves, having the game as episodic. Oh yeah, episodic. No, nothing like the Telltale interactive novels, but more like this one, this two, and more than likely, that's going to be more than likely for the PS6, Disc 3, or Disc 4. That episodic, not for the disc, but for the consoles. Kind of like in the same way how DLCs, add-ons, and season passes are a freaking joke and hogwash since it spawned its ugly head back in the 7th gen of gaming, PlayStation 3, Wii, and 360, and just been getting worse and worse and worse and worse. To a point where you're just fed up with gaming, because it's not about pleasing the gamer customer, it's about milking and sucking away more of the gamer's bank account and wallet. Back in 2023, with the announcement of Disc 2, pretty much, if you haven't coughed up all the dough to get a PlayStation 5 and you're staying on PS4 Island, you literally just got one disc and stuck with it. Because Squeenix decided to abandon the PS4 and migrate to the PS5, making Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PS4 a glorified and lengthy demo with a platinum. And also, spare me with this console age BS, claptrap BS, because the PS4 was 6 years, now was 6-year-old at the time, now it's pushing 10. Remember, the PS3 didn't pick up momentum until its 5th year. So imagine if Sony pulled the plug from the PS3 back in 2011. Now back to PS4. Though there's games much bigger and better than Final Fantasy VII Remake, but they wasn't butchered or chopped up into 3 separate games dubbed into episodes. And those games are The Witcher 3, Fallout 4, Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2, any Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto 4, Skyrim, the remaster, God of War, and God of War Ragnarok, The Crew, any Assassin's Creed game, especially Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That game is gigantic. Any Tales of series, even Final Fantasy 7, even Final Fantasy 15's bigger. But Squeenix effed and screwed that pooch up. And there's more. GT Sport, which is going to be eventually, is going to suffer the mag because it's going to be nothing but a coaster because that's going offline soon. That's what I'm telling you. Games as a service are not your friend. And you should stay away from them, stop supporting them. And Gran Turismo 7. Speaking of gases, that abysmal failure, Marvel's Avengers, which also came from Square Enix. The Elder Scrolls Online, that's a huge game. That wasn't chopped up into different pieces. Dragon Age Inquisition, to come to mind. No, I take that back because EA and BioWare screwed over the gamers with excluding the DLC like Descent and its expansion, Trespasser for the PlayStation 3 and 360. So sadly, if you have that on there, you're missing out the whole game. So screw you, EA and BioWare. You continue to be the embarrassing donkey corpse of your own demise and failure. Even Hogwarts Legacy that came out earlier this year got a PS4 port, and it isn't butchered. It plays just fine and dandy. It wasn't chopped up into a coming soon years later with separate CDs, separate discs. No, it plays and looks good for a 9-year-old system. It looks good. Special shout out to that studio for Hogwarts Legacy. Because again, those games listed above, they are amazing. And they blow away Final Fantasy VII Remake. So I don't want to hear that mess. And that's how it should be. Actual games that should have never been, and that's how it should be. Now we're going to the actual games that should have never been for the PS4 and Xbox One. And those are Cyberpunk 2077 and Horizon Forbidden West. Those games should have never been on the previous gen because both of their DLCs are just for the PS5 and the Xbox XBX, which defeat the purpose that because them games were developed for the PS4 and Xbox One, but kicked to the curb some unknown reason, but ignorant one-dimensional marketing to get a PS5 or the XBX. Oh, speaking of which, another fail from Warner Brothers and DC Games, Gotham Knights. It would have benefited if the idiots didn't kick the PS4 and Xbox ports to the curb because let's be real here. Arkham Knight came out in 2015. That game blows away Gotham Knights in every aspect, shape, and form. So, but yet it was on a PS5 and it looked like it ran no better than the PlayStation 3 game. Yeah. So what? That's why they deserve their failure of an IP of a game. So that's another L for WB and DC Games, Rocksteady Studios, or whoever created that crap. So back to FFR. So if you didn't get the remake, you might as well just. So if you haven't got the remake yet, you might as well just get it for the PS5. But who knows if Final Fantasy VII RE3 will even be on the PS5, even RE4, the episode 4 when you be on PS5. They might be PS6, PS7 for all we know. Because Square Enix has a track record of doing such heinous and anti-gaming acts, maybe on PS6 when it's all, maybe PS6, PS7 when it's all done. Maybe, who knows? But gamers, you can't blame Square Enix for being money-hungry, greedy sponges and having a cash cow milk baby that easily could have just been one disc, like the other games who are just as big as bigger, or 3 discs without some to be continued in 2025, 2026, 2027. No, this is truly because gamers will continue to feed them with their bank accounts, credit cards, and wallets, but then complain about on social media about gaming companies and studios being anti-consumer. Why do I have to pay to play online? PS Plus for subscription price hike is ripping us off, and they're a bunch of greedy a-holes. But you can't fault or blame them for keeping up with the greed when they are still being fed. So gamers, you're a part and contributor to this problem and adding to the destruction of gaming. Now, what else can I say? Coined and prophesied back in 2010 by the 7th Level on here and on X, formerly known as Twitter, about gaming becoming digital streaming set boxes only, while other gaming companies saying and kissing physical media goodbye and sticking their kisses up at gamers' lips to kiss them. So here they are saying, here, buy my subscription so you can play my game library that cycle per month without leaving your house or room. And then tough luck if you didn't pay for it, because once it's gone, once that license expires, it's gone forever. Oh, I'm sorry. And then RIP to your physical gaming media, while you gamers will give us your bank accounts and credit card wallets. But, kind of what he was saying to say, this could have been prevented, especially with this playing just to play on multiplayer on the same game you played for, even though Steam and PC don't have this problem. But here's studio companies once again saying that you need to play this game no matter what or who. Now, for me, I can't wait to complete my game collection on my PlayStation 4 because I am ending it on the PS4 Pro because I am retiring and just kicking it old school. And now I'm about to end this, so it's time for me to end this ReRant, and not just for Square Enix Final Fantasy rereads, but also the burning and sinking ship that is the SS video games due to greed, due to cash cowing, and due to gamers who are just falling for the same okie doke time and time and again. So until then, if you're one of the gamers who have sense, happy gaming. If not, you got to learn from this before it's too late, because Best Buy is getting rid of digital media Soon Walmart will, and next thing you know, GameStop was pretty much the only brick and mortar out, and that's sad. And we should have been marching for this when all the brick and mortars GameStops were gone. So everything is going to be like what the seventh level said, digital set boxes. Look at Hollywood. Again, I talked about this in my other video with the SAG-AFTRA. Why I think they're striking for digital media. Who gets that money? Studios. Middleman is gone. I mean, the lockdown pandemic 2020 should have taught us that. It's all about getting rid of the middleman so they can have more money in their pockets. But the future is dark, but it can be bright. Just have to do a 180 and not a 360 anymore.